internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours in Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. My goodness, all I want to say right off the bat is I love every single one of you guys. The information that I'm about to relay onto you is going to completely blow your mind, and I would really highly appreciate it if you share this video with everybody, because Swift just gave you the blueprint, and I feel like they said a little too much, and they are speaking Ripple's language. And I'm going to give you hardcore evidence and also a video back from 2017 that is going to completely blow your mind. Okay, Mr. Tom replied to an individual on LinkedIn in regards to Ripple and XRP, and he said this: surviving lawsuits isn't resilience. Neutral shared governance is. Institutions don't want to live on a competitor's rail. My goodness, that may not mean much to you, but folks, let me play this video by Ryan Zagone, and then I'm going to break down exactly what Tom is saying here. And the information, like I said, I'm going to relay on to you is going to completely blow your mind.
Let me invite Ryan, please. Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Zagone. I work for a company called Ripple. We enable real-time cross-border payments for financial institutions. We're lowering the settlement time from about 5 days to 5 seconds, and we're reducing the cost of cross-border payments by about 60%. We're working with about 50 financial institutions around the world to enable this real-time cross-border payment. To the question of will fintech endanger financial stability, I don't think it will, if we maintain a strong principle-based approach to regulation. So today, we set regulation at a high-level thematic principle that we apply uniquely to each different technology or product. So for instance, we will have principles around market stability or operational resiliency.
Operational resiliency, market stability. This is back from 2017, and look where we are today. You got to be a complete knucklehead to not see what's happening. And this is just a little bit of information. We got more.
So for instance, we will have principles around market stability or operational resiliency or cybersecurity, so like strong components of a financial system. We apply those, ensuring the controls and the risk mitigants are put in place are unique to the risk and gaps within each product. It's not one standard approach. So we customize how we apply rules and risk to each different product. If we continue that approach of a strong principle-based model, I think we will be very effective at identifying and mitigating the risks that may come from fintech.
Where do you see Chainlink in 2017 on this IMF panel? You don't. Okay, and this is not me bashing on Chainlink. I hold Chainlink, but I'm talking about these individuals in other communities that think, that we just talk BS. And folks, if you guys missed it yesterday, we did a half face reveal. And we did a little bit of a teaser for a workout video. The link is in the description down below. You guys could check it out. And before I go and dissect what Mr. Paul said, folks, generational bottoms, generational moves, we are about to witness. And I have my XRP trade open, which I opened live, which is currently up 19% right now with 8 leverage. Take advantage of the deposit bonuses for Bitunix and also 2bit. If you deposit $4,000 in 2bit, you get an $800 bonus that you could be trading with. If you deposit $2,000 into Bitunix, you get a $400 deposit bonus. Okay, and the safest way to play it out right now, as you guys could see, I have an 8 leverage. Let me kind of break this down to you. I have an 8 leverage with a $4,200 margin. My trade would get liquidated. I lose all my money when XRP goes to $2.43. In my opinion, I don't think it's going to go to those levels. And if it does, I'm ready to add to my position and dollar cost into it, because we are on the cusp of a major move in crypto. And the smartest approach to do it with the minimal risk right now, even if you guys were to go and open a trade with 2 leverage and a $5,000 margin, you could do the 4,000 deposit and the 800, so $4,800 in total. Your liquidation price is going to be below $2. Okay, it's going to be below $2, and I do not think XRP is going to go to below $2, folks. Monumental moments right now. And I know this is going to age really well. And I know this trade is going to be open for a very long time. So take advantage, get ready, because these prices, folks, I'm telling you, they're not going to stick around for much longer. And now let's continue on to what Tom said, right? He said surviving lawsuits isn't resilience. Neutral shared governance is. And people are panicking, thinking this is FUD. But if you guys aren't understanding what he's actually saying, this is one of the most bullish confirmations we've had in years, and let me break it down. First of all, Tom isn't some random individual. Tom is a good friend of Brad Garlinghouse. Go back years. Tom has been on Ripple panels, Ripple conferences, side by side with Brad. This isn't new. These guys know each other. They've been in the same rooms for a long time. So when Tom makes a statement like this, you better believe it's not a dismissal. It is a setup. Now let's look at what he actually said, right? He's saying that institutions don't want to live on competitors' rails. They want neutral shared governance. And what has Ripple been working on towards over the decade? Decentralization, neutral governance. You heard Ryan Zagone. That's the entire end game. That was back in 2017. And I'm going to try to find the video of Ryan Zagone back in 2017 at the Federal Reserve, and look where we are today.
Dynamic at play globally. The U.S., I think, should very well keep that in the front of their mind.
Okay.
Now, while we are very early in this process, this isn't the first time we've had to ask ourselves this question. How do we regulate a new technology that we don't understand how it's going to evolve? We sat around similar tables back in 1997 and asked the same question about the internet. And while we didn't know how to regulate it then, we did come forth globally with a set of pillars that we use even today on how to regulate e-commerce. And that was that regulation should be simple, clear, consistent, coordinated, has security and consumer protections. And that was proposed by Bill Clinton, at the time president, to the UN. It was adopted there, and it was adopted in Europe under the Bonn Declaration. And we set out a framework for thinking about electronic technology in a way that was very clear and consistent globally, happening at the level of the activity. I see this as we're repeating history a little bit. And I often go back to Clinton's electronic commerce proposal and quote directly from it when talking with regulators about how we build a regulatory framework today that supports innovation in a way that's safe and allows us to innovate without potentially stopping some of the benefits from taking root. So I think it's important to know this isn't the first time we've asked these questions. We've faced this many times.
Jerry?
Okay, sitting beside Trump at the White House, along with Chainlink as well, because this is going to be a collaborative effort. That's why Ripple built the escrow system in the first place. That escrow wasn't designed for retail traders. That escrow is for the banks. It's liquidity predictability. It's for trust at the highest levels of the financial system. And people laugh when I say this, but let's be real for a second. Do you honestly think JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley are going to come out tomorrow and announce they're using RippleNet and XRP before the groundwork is laid? Are you absolutely insane? These are trillion-dollar institutions. They move quietly. They work under NDAs. And I know the XRP community gets a lot of backlash when people say there's a lot of NDAs, but guess what? That's true. And the idiots and the morons out there that don't believe in that, damn, you got to go educate yourself, my man.
We had customers who are meeting. So, look, we are working. I'm aware there's some rumors out there. We announce our customer relationships when our partners are ready to announce that, and is part of working with the industry and not kind of trying to surprise them. Right. We will make those announcements when we and our customers are ready.
Stay tuned. If you need to.
But listen, they set up infrastructure years in advance, okay? Ripple has NDAs all over the place. That's how this game works. You don't announce it before it's ready. You don't front run the biggest transition in financial history. And that's exactly what Tom is pointing at. Compliance isn't just Ripple begging regulators for permission. Compliance is about the entire industry coming together to agree on a shared standard that no single company dominates. That's the playbook. That's the only way institutions will touch the space. And XRP's escrow fits that model perfectly. Predictable, neutral, transparent, and designed for the banks, not retail. And think about it. Where's Cardano's escrow? Where's Chainlink's escrow? Where's Bitcoin's escrow? Where's Ethereum's escrow? Where's Dogecoin's escrow?
At the moment, they don't pass what's known as third-party risk management. Just a very concrete example quickly is anything on Ethereum you've got to pay gas for. The gas gets paid to validators. A regulated firm cannot pay gas fees to sanctioned entities. So the public permissionless blockchains are out.
Do you see what is being done here? This is where people completely miss the picture. You think Ripple is going to sell, their billion XRP a month into retail market forever? Absolutely not. That supply is being structured for corridors, for liquidity pools, for the plumbing of the new financial system. Retail barely owns anything in the grand scheme of things. That escrow is sitting there like a loaded weapon, waiting for the day banks flip the switch and need predictable neutral rails. And let me tell you this in the politest way possible. If you think Ripple has no NDAs, if you think there aren't agreements in place already with Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, and the big dogs, you're not paying attention. The rails are being laid, folks, behind closed doors. And when the time comes, you'll see exactly what Tom's talking about. Neutral, shared governance at global scale. So for the individuals that think this is FUD, this is a bullish confirmation straight from the mouth of Swift's.
But 64% of Fortune 500 executives in a recent survey say that investing in crypto and blockchain is important for staying ahead of their competition.
This is Ripple's endgame. And mark my words, time will prove it. The same institutions that people say would never touch XRP will end up using XRP, directly or indirectly. They have no choice. This is how the financial system evolves. And what you think Ripple was, you think they put Ripple on the BIS for fun? How people don't see this blows my mind. The blueprint is right in front of your eyes. Tom literally just gave you the roadmap, and most of you are too busy panicking about the current price for XRP when the price should be the last thing you're worried about. Okay? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this escrow model that we have. It is absolutely gonna, oh my goodness. And listen, I know some of you guys may say, oh, you sound so dumb, you sound so stupid, blah, blah, blah. Listen, at the end of the day, I know I'm right. That's the best part about this. And just like when I was forcing everybody to be like, hey, take a look at XRP when it was below 50 cents for a very long time, $2.84 XRP is going to be a dream for people. Dream that they bought this. Okay? So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And XRP right now is trying to have a little bit of a breakout right now. This trade is up 20%. But like I said, you want to play it safe? $5,000 margin, 1 leverage, 2 leverage, your liquidation price is going to be below $2. And like I said in my previous videos, I am going to be holding a trade, getting an entry point where XRP is at these levels and we go to $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 because this year is going to happen 100%. We are on the cusp of fireworks. Remember a couple weeks ago when everything was going crazy? We're going to see that again. It's rinse and repeat. And once these institutions come, you're not going to stop it. And I still have my World Liberty Financial trade open. Okay, it's still a $200 margin. We were up $900. I am shocked at the way this, obviously, I'm sure many of you guys predicted this, but I'm still holding this position. I was up $900. I didn't take for the profit. I told you when I opened this trade, this was purely gamble. I don't own World Liberty Financial. I would not buy it, in my opinion. I would just trade it, but there's no point of buying this, okay? You're better off accumulating and adding to your other positions right now. But folks, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take advantage of the deposit bonuses for 2bit. And remember what I said about the little tip that I gave you guys earlier with low leverage and you know, if you deposit the 4,000 on 2-bit and the 800, that's a $4,800 margin with 2 leverage, and your liquidation price will be below $2. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys, and we'll be back with another video. And before I end this off, I just want you to listen to this part again, what Chris Larson said years ago, 2013, but just listen carefully when he says, like, this is a long-term play. This has always been the game. This has always been the game, folks. And for the ones that see it, congratulations in advance. And if you came this far to the video and you're still confused, please go watch our previous videos. But trust us, we are not your ordinary individuals. Okay, as much as like it sounds like I'm trying to stroke your ego and my ego, it's not. We're not. This is reality. We got to face it. This is the first time that humans had an echo chamber where we could actually talk about our investments. Remember back in when Tesla, well, not Tesla, well, like Google, Amazon, Apple were there, like we didn't have the internet to connect and share our thoughts, folks. This time it's different. This time they knew retail got in first, and now they're building it around us.
Determines the value of an XRP, because I mean right now it's trading just a little between 0.005 and it was at 1.6 cents. So what's controlling the underlying value of the currency? Is it supply and demand, or
it's strictly supply and demand, and that demand is just up entirely to market forces to determine what that is. And again, short term, like probably anything else, and particularly in something new like this, very unpredictable, certainly very volatile. And again, this is why we think that most people will not want to think about XRP as the thing that they are going to be buying things in, right? We think most people are going to be using dollar, euro, yen, airline miles, whatever. And in our system, they don't have to think about XRP. We think market makers will think about XRP, and so markets can be driven by them. It can be driven by really any reason. I think long term, though, it is this notion that the primary use is to be something that enables market making, which is really helping to facilitate medium of exchange. And we think that's probably, like any currency or any thing of value, probably the most important kind of source of demand. And again, that's long term as more and more folks come on the protocol. And again, that's long term as more and more folks come on the protocol.
They told us dream small, but we had the stars in mind. While they chased hype, we studied time. In the noise we found the signal. Brad knew just what to do. Now XRP hums like jazz, running smooth and true. Money's changing, systems bend, ripple flow into the end. Truth is quiet, bold and deep. We salute the ones who lose no sleep. Salute to the minds that built this chain. Salute, salute, through the trials, through the pain. Salute, salute, to the calm, to the wise. Salute, 100 in our eyes. Bitcoin maxis yell on stage, stuck in loops they call belief, while XRPL just clears the way. No delay, no grief. They hoard coins like dusty gold, but we got utility in every fold. The future ain't loud, it's steady breathing. Real ones know what's worth believing. It ain't hype, it's code and soul. We salute the ones who see the whole. Salute to the builders, to the flow. Salute, salute, where the real ones choose to go. Salute, salute, to the heart, to the plan. Salute, XRP will lead the land. So here's to the signal, clear and bright, to the dreamers who held on tight. No matter the storm, no matter the fight, salute, we rise with the light.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.